officially posted.
We are live. I'm going to do the settings.
Excellent.
Y'all can talk. I just
Well,
have to
I'm
be-
just refreshing repeatedly for the live video. That's what I'm doing.
I thought it was just like all of us staring at each other. I was like,
Doing some
oh God,
Facebook
we're too old for this.
I do love that, like, we can't tell if we're looking at each other or just our laptop screens, like doing something else. That's really
It
fun.
is messed up.
I am curating.
No, it is not made for kids. And we save.
Oh man, this was so rough, y'all.
We edit live in the studio.
Live in
Cool.
the
There we go.
stew.
We're here. Wow, that killed 2 minutes of us just standing there.
Oh, alrighty, folks. Welcome back to the quarantine series. I'm gonna mute real quick so I can pull up this video for myself.
Yeah, welcome everybody. We've got 16 people right now. Thanks for being back with us here at the quarantine series. Oh, we're up to 20. Man, it's just climbing so fast. As usual here at the quarantine series, we're going to be holding our house until 7:05. Means we got 3 minutes. So we're going to be hanging out, telling some bad jokes, chilling until 7:05, and then we get rolling.
All right. I'm gonna start us off with like something that made me cringe physically when I read it and will undoubtedly hurt more when I say
All
it.
right, let's go. Let's round it. I got a few, so let's rail them off.
All right. What's Whitney Houston's favorite type of coordination? Hand-eye.
Wow. Oh, and now we just lost all of our viewers. Welcome everybody who's joined us since the last time I let you know that we're holding house until 7:05. Then we're gonna get started. I've got another joke for us. This one's pretty bad, but I want to lead with it because it's pretty fun. What did Batman say to Robin before he got in the Batmobile? Get in the Batmobile.
Fun.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Okay, now I have a real one. Okay. I bought some shoes from a drug dealer, and I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all like. Ugh. Okay. All right. What's yours? All right, we got 1 more minute. We're holding house for one
more
minute.
Oh my God. This is a little irreverent, but you know what? Sex, drugs, rock and roll, baby.
Yeah.
How do you make holy water?
Oh, you boil the hell out of it. I know that one. I like that one.
Boom. I liked that one also.
You know, I hate Russian dolls. They're just so full of themselves. You know?
Actually,
and if life gives you melons, you're probably dyslexic.
Wow. This is Madison Sutton erasure.
That is. Let's be nice here.
I told my doctor that I broke my arm in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those places.
That's I actually really like that one.
I hated that one. That one was like opposite of me. But it is 7:05 and we are done with jokes.
All right. Let's get it going. We got 41 people here tonight. So excited. So hello everyone and welcome back to the quarantine series. We're back again. We are a Houston, Texas based play reading series that offers new plays a workshop process, rehearsals, and a directed public reading, all through virtual conferencing and live streaming. It's pretty cool, and we're back again. Tonight, we'll be presenting a new 1-act play from Greg Burdick titled Room 27. featuring a handful of famous rock stars such as Kurt Cobain, Janis Joplin, and Jimi Hendrix. This riff on Waiting for Godot and No Exit is going to keep you excited. It's going to keep you locked in. I'm super excited to share this tonight. Y'all are going to have a blast. At the end of the presentation tonight, I will be facilitating a talkback with all of the artists involved. So we'll be taking questions from you in the chat on our YouTube Live. So make sure you're logged into the chat so you can talk to us. We love seeing your reactions in the chat. And in a theater, you can't really be like, oh, snap, she didn't just pull out a knife. What? That was crazy. But here, you can do that in our chat. So get in there, get in the chat. We really encourage you to ask questions and stay tuned after to hear them answered by the artists in the talkback. Lastly, the quarantine series is a donate if you can operation. So we recognize that this pandemic is economically disastrous for a lot of people. So we're not asking for any payment whatsoever. However, if you have the means and you feel moved to donate, our Venmo is at the Quarantine Series, and our Cash App is also $the Quarantine Series. If you'd like to donate, please send all of your funds that way, and all of the funds collected tonight will be evenly distributed among the artists within the company for this presentation tonight. And if you don't have the means to donate, you can still support us at the Quarantine Series by following our pages on Facebook, the Quarantine Series, and on Instagram, the Quarantine Series HTX. Please leave a review on our Facebook, share and comment on our post to share your love, and also fill out the anonymous feedback survey that we're dropping in the chat, the YouTube chat right now. That helps us get better at everything we do because we love to hear your feedback on things that we could do better or things that you like. And so without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Anna Maria, who will be reading our stage directions tonight. And I really hope that you all enjoy Room 27 by Greg Burdick.
Right on. Alrighty, so before we begin, I'm going to issue a quick trigger warning for substance abuse, mention of suicide, and sexual content. So I'm going to give everybody a moment to receive that. Alrighty. Let's begin. Room 27 by Greg Burdick, directed by Mohammed Kairisman. Jim Morrison will be played by Amelia Cassing. Janis Joplin will be played by Zoe Ellis. Jimi Hendrix will be played by Edwin Green. Kurt Cobain will be played by Kyle Clark. Amy Winehouse will be played by Denise Marin. Brian Jones will be played by Anthony Short. And Bryce Peters will be played by Brandon Bravo. Lights rise on a dilapidated, dirty, well-used dressing room. Bulbs are burned out or missing at the makeup tables. Furniture is mismatched and worn. The paint is peeling from the stained walls. In the distance, a huge performance arena audience impatiently waiting for their concert of a lifetime to begin. Inside the room are who the crowd is waiting for. Jim Morrison, slowly pacing in a back corner. Kurt Cobain huddled over his guitar, trying in vain to tune it. Jimi Hendrix absent-mindedly smoking. Janis Joplin carelessly twisting her hair. Amy Winehouse getting into makeup. And Brian Jones pathetically seated with his head in his hands. They all move languidly, they're in no hurry, until the only door opens and Bryce Peters walks through it.
Drummer!
Me? No. I play bass.
The door slams shut on its own.
Oh, damn it.
Of course.
Man.
Fabulous.
Well, I don't understand.
Forget it, kid.
You're Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
You're dead.
So are you, man.
Wait, what?
Go easy on him, Jimmy.
He's young.
We all are.
Oh, you know what I mean.
I'm dead?
Dead. And we're not kissing the sky neither.
Excuse me?
Not even 30 seconds is the new guy here, and you have to make that tired old joke. Bloody hell.
Yeah, he's right. Enough already. Quit reminding us.
Hey, I'm dead.
What's the last thing you remember?
Well, I was in my hotel room and Amy Winehouse
Cheers.
and Jimi Hendrix. Oh, Jimi Hendrix!
This part always takes so long.
Nothing to be done.
Oh, shit.
It's not gonna tune, man. It's never gonna tune.
I've got to try, Janice. One's bound to get here soon.
Look how long we waited for him to show. He's just a bass player, and probably a shitty one at that.
Well, we don't have anyone on bass.
Janice, take it easy. This guy must be, what's your name, kid?
Bryce.
Bryce here must be a decent enough musician if they brought him here. Wouldn't you agree, Kurt?
Janis Joplin and Kurt Cobain. God damn! What is this place?
It's a bleeding dressing room, isn't it?
We're waiting.
Waiting.
Waiting to go on.
There must be thousands of them.
There's more than thousands.
Reminds me of Madison Square Garden.
This ain't New York.
And how would you know about the garden?
We played there last summer. It kicked off our international tour. 2 nights.
We?
Burning sensation. We're a hip-hop R&B boy band. Or we were.
He is a professional musician.
And your boy band's name is Burning Sensation.
Yeah.
Your boy band is named for a sexually transmitted disease symptom.
Go ahead. Mock all you want. You know, we won 5 Grammys, including Album of the Year, Best New Artist, and Best R&B Song for Feel My Fire.
Boy band? A silly contrivance. I suppose you lads were shoved together for one of those reality shows. Ridiculous. He doesn't belong here. Piss off.
And just who the hell are you?
Easy, Brian, don't.
You ever hear of the Rolling Stones?
Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, Charlie Watts. Sure, I've heard of the Stones.
Yeah. Well, obviously you haven't heard of all of them.
Billy Wyman, Ron Wood. Great bass players.
Bryce, this is Brian Jones. He founded the band.
Never heard of you.
Bollocks! How could you not heard of me?
Take it easy, mate. He's American.
And he's a kid.
We're all the same age.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Room keeps getting smaller and we're no closer. I don't know how the rest of you can just sit there and take it. I'm so done with this.
What else is there to do?
So you've all just been sitting here, waiting since,
Go ahead. Say it.
well, since you've
said it earlier, man.
died.
Yep.
Unreal.
Oh no. It's real. It's most definitely real. This is the end, beautiful friend.
But it's not. Not really, anyway. Technically.
Huh?
It's not the end.
Will you kindly put that cigarette out?
Piss off.
Where'd you get those? I didn't think we were allowed to have any of those.
We're not. They're clove. They're shit. But there's something, I suppose.
How'd you get it?
I don't know. Every time I think I set it down, it seems to find its way back in my hand.
Well, give me one.
I only have one.
Put it out.
I can't. I've tried. It never goes out. And you wouldn't like it anyway. It's awful.
What a delight.
So, what? I mean, we just sit here? Is that it? We just sit here.
Nothing on the earth is ours any longer. The earth has left us for good.
Okay.
Where the bad folks go when they die.
They don't go to heaven where the angels fly. I know. You're not gonna sing it for us, are you? It's depressing enough in here already.
He can't sing it.
None of us can, man. We've tried.
It's killing us.
Wait, you mean
It took us years just to be able to speak some of the lyrics to our own songs. Go ahead, try it. Bet you can't.
oh my God, I can't. This never happened to me before.
Relax, brother.
And how are we gonna?
We're not. We're not.
We can't.
Leastways, not till we find ourselves a drummer. Or we think that might be how it works. No one's really told us now, have they?
You think that's how it works?
Come on, man. It makes perfect sense. Drummer's the life force of any band. It's primal. It's the heartbeat. And right now, we...
Flatlined.
So to speak, yeah.
Bleeding drummers, those bastards are always late.
You got one job. Keep time.
Precisely. But we'll never go on, not at this rate.
We can't just leave?
What?
We can't?
No.
We can't just leave.
Oh, bloody hell, are you dead?
Jesus!
God.
By all means, be our guest, go.
As Bryce makes a move toward the door, the others plug their ears and grimace, expecting the worst. As he reaches for the doorknob, a horrific electric crackle from a monstrous unseen guitar amp, coupled with the worst microphone feedback in the history of music, floods the room. Bryce immediately retreats, and the noise stops.
Nothing to be done.
So we're trapped here
Now you're getting it.
until a drummer shows up.
That's the theory anyway.
But why are we here?
Oh, now there's a question.
How old are you, Bryce?
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Uh-huh.
What?
I'm 27.
I'm 27.
And I'm 27.
And I'm 27.
Me too.
Of course I am, you twat. Did you not notice a pattern emerging here?
So the sign on the door.
Room 27.
Very
Got
so.
it.
Bingo.
27 Club. And I'm a member now. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Lucky you.
Wait, but, I mean, there's never been a 27-year-old drummer to...
Well, we came close a few times.
A few times, twice.
Okay, twice.
We really thought we had one back in 89.
He grabs a copy of Rolling Stone magazine.
Who was the...
There was this band called Echo and the Bunnymen. Their drummer.
Fritas.
Right. Peter DeFritas was their drummer. He died at 27. And holy shit, you should have seen it. We were cheering in here like we had won the jackpot in Vegas.
So where is he?
Obviously not here. Stupid yank. I mean, honestly.
I don't understand. Musician? 27? I mean, tragic end?
Well, see, that's just it. He died in a motorcycle accident.
But there appears to be another important prerequisite to gain entry here.
It's got to be something you had a hand in.
Huh?
Peter did have some previous trouble with drugs and alcohol. He was definitely on the track to be here, but unfortunately his death was purely accidental.
Huh.
10 years later, we almost had another. But
Tammy,
Yuko Kamimura,
Who's that?
another 27-year-old drummer from the rock band Malice Miser.
Sort of like a Japanese version of Kiss. Costumes, lots of makeup, theatrical, wild stuff. Brilliant, really.
But he died naturally in his sleep of an aneurysm.
Another swing and a miss.
Oh,
we've been tearing our hair out, and so when you walked in, we thought,
Third time's the charm. But
God damn it, we're gonna be here forever. What? I've read it already, thousands of times, so have all of you. Oh, piss off.
wait. So they're not here, but we all are because
I told you this part always takes too long.
we somehow had a hand in our own deaths.
Well, didn't you?
He's not gonna.
Let him answer. Didn't you?
I mean, I don't know really. It's also like, I don't know. You think that I...
Yes, yes, I think we're in hell, man. We're in hell. Mama tried to warn us about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. We got our fill, and now there's none. Don't act like you're not surprised.
Alcohol poisoning, self-inflicted.
Here too. Along with sleeping pills. Choked on my own vomit.
Drugs and alcohol for me as well, just add water. I drowned in my swimming pool.
heroin overdose in the bathtub.
Heroin and alcohol OD.
Shotgun.
So it wasn't murder.
Wouldn't be here if the conspiracy theorists were right. Kind of wishing they were.
What about you?
Me?
I'm telling you, he's not gonna know yet. It's too early. You have to wait for every damn thing around here.
Oh, you mean how?
I cheated myself, like I knew I would. You must have done something similar to be joining us.
Oh God, does it even matter at this point?
Hush. Go on then, Bryce. What do you remember?
Well, I was in my hotel room.
So you said.
I was alone.
Yes.
And the rest is fuzzy.
Told you.
Give it time. You'll think of it.
Give it time. One thing we've got plenty of.
Maybe I won't think of it. I mean, maybe I'll just...
Oh, it'll come back to you. They're not going to just let you forget about it. That's not how it works around here.
He's right. And once you finally do remember, it'll be all that you can think about. Day and night, night and day. Not that you can tell much of a difference around here.
She goes to a small window with a stained, tattered curtain. As she pulls it aside, it's evident that the window has been bricked up.
Like you can't blink. Eyelids removed, constantly staring at it, forced to face it.
And no drug fix.
No drink to take the edge off.
Can't sleep.
Nothing to silence all the thoughts buzzing around inside your head, reminding you of the choices that brought you here.
Great.
Well, that, and wondering when the fucking drummer is gonna show!
That's why we're so keen to meet him. Or her. I don't know. Maybe playing and singing again might drown out all the other noise in our heads. Help us forget.
Wonderful diversion. I'd say get it while you can. Yeah, honey, grab it when you got it, because you're going to need it. I mean, what what if they did call us to the stage right now?
You all seem so confident that we'd still be able to do it.
Yeah.
No rehearsal, right?
Nope.
Have you guys even talked about a set list? Sound check.
No idea. One would assume, but who knows?
That's insane.
We do not have a drummer. Let's jump off that bridge when we get to it, shall we?
Suppose we repented.
Repented what?
Oh, well, we wouldn't have to go into the details.
Our being born.
Must suck for them too.
Who?
Them.
How long have they?
They were clapping when I got back here in July of 1969. It's incessant. You'd think I'd have grown accustomed to it by now.
God, I mean, can you imagine? You know, like going to see a band play and having to wait like that for the concert to start?
I think I can bloody well imagine, mate.
No, I mean, like, that must be their hell. You know, I mean, forced to clap incessantly. Ugh! I mean, their hands must look like they belong in the scrap bucket of a butcher shop by now.
Oh, yeah. And they all bought ridiculously overpriced scalp tickets.
With obstructed view, and there's no refunds.
And the opening act was shit.
Downfield, Kenny G and Mariah Carey singing nothing more than that one bloody note only dogs can hear.
Free beer, but no bathrooms.
And it's outside and it's raining.
I sort of imagine lots of pyro. Pyro everywhere. So much pyro. Like, even in the aisles, under the seats.
Great balls of fire.
Oh, that would be awful.
Worse than this.
Right.
One way or another, we're gonna have to go out there eventually.
Don't be so sure.
Oh, come on. Be realistic. They can't pack too many more of us in here. We'd be on top of each other.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad.
Speak for yourself.
Leave her alone, Jimmy.
I can't help myself. Come on, baby. Do you have any idea how long it's been since?
Since you've had a shag? Go on then. How long?
I can't remember. Isn't that awful? I can't remember how long it's been. It must be.
Just about as long as it's been for me. Get in line. You're not the only one.
Hey.
Make way for the Lizard King. My mojo's rising.
That shit didn't work on me, Morrison. Why do you think for a minute it would work on her?
Excuse me? I was here first.
I got needs too, man.
Oh, poor baby.
Poor baby.
And how do either of you propose to remedy that situation with me exactly?
Ooh, little lady, you know what I'd do? I would take you into my arms, carry you over there to the corner of that room, away from prying eyes. What? No, seriously, I would. And then lovingly caress and kiss you. And then...
And I would give you a night of ecstasy, unbridled, building and building toward a psychedelic explosion in the firmament. We'd become the stars and burn out hot.
Right. And then what? You don't have much of a move after that.
Well,
What you mean, move? Oh, I've definitely got some moves for you, baby.
Nope, you don't.
Hate to say it, but she's right, Jimmy, about both of us.
Huh?
He never looked, did he?
Obviously not.
Look at what?
Jimmy, when was the last time you took a peek at your
My what?
your whammy bar?
My what?
He means you're a cock, Jimmy.
Oh, well, don't you worry about that, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Should I just do it?
You better before things get any worse.
What the? Oh my Jesus, what in the living hell?
All this time, how has he never noticed?
Oh my God. I am a Ken doll down there.
Newsflash, we all are.
There's nothing?
Us too, mate.
I mean, how does that even work?
It doesn't.
So, I'm not gonna be able to.
Well, you can't always get what you want now, can you?
We can try sometime. I mean, can't we?
It's not that kind of party, and none of us want to watch.
Speak for yourself.
Ugh, really? Boys will be pigs.
It's already awkward enough in here, so back off. Us girls have to stick together.
Price of fame, even here.
Fame. See, then there was a time when you really had to work for that.
If that's what you even wanted.
True.
Most of us were just struggling to get our stuff heard.
Amy was the only one of us who had the internet.
And she didn't even need it. You understand that? She worked for it. She earned it. Just like the rest of us did. Nothing handed to her. And that voice. Damn.
Thanks, Jimmy.
So many people have said it, but it takes years to be an overnight success. Or at least it used to.
Not anymore.
And when the fame finally strikes, at least back then you were somewhat prepared for it, knowing it was always a possibility while you were struggling.
Now.
God.
Anybody can do it.
Everyone has their own stage online and anything can go viral.
So much of it is garbage, desperate clutches for attention, never mind the quality of the work.
Or the intrinsic value of the lyrics, or the music, the artistry.
How many likes, how many shares, how many comments.
I was so lucky to miss that. I mean, once you pleased the music critics, and sometimes even if you didn't, you could go ahead and just play. But now everyone's a critic and everyone is listening to them. And
You can't just focus on playing the music anymore. You have to be dialed into the buzz online, interacting with the fans. It can be all consuming. It backfired for me. You can have it. If that's what being a pop star has become. It's the idea of fame that they're in love with, and they have no idea. They just don't understand, do they?
No way, honey. Not very much.
The minute it happens, it's already too late. There's no going back. I didn't handle it well.
I don't think any of us did.
At least all of you had a taste of what it was like before you got here. I missed the bus entirely when they kicked me out of the band. Done and dusted. The balls of that. The balls of that. Something I started. Sorry, mate. Things aren't just working out. We part ways and suddenly everything's taking off for them. Bastards are still packing stadiums. When will that end?
Brian, you didn't miss much.
Oh, for God's sake, do not patronize me. At least I've still got my dashing good looks. Have you seen those wrinkly fucks lately? Honestly, gathered some moss there to be sure.
Our manager tried to warn us about it. The fame. Tried to protect us. None of us listened.
Oh, yeah?
No anonymity. No privacy when you're out.
Uh-oh.
But other doors open for us. Drugs, alcohol, everywhere. Anytime we wanted it.
It's so easy. A pressure valve.
Yeah. Well, every other member of the band ended up in rehab for one reason or another. They couldn't handle it.
But not you.
I didn't have to go to rehab.
Really?
No.
No.
No. I can't play high. And I can't sing drunk. I just watched them. It was sort of sad.
So what was your downfall?
I'm still not entirely sure.
You said something about your hotel room?
You were alone? No groupies?
I find that hard to believe.
Uh-huh, I could tell you some stories about some groupies.
Uh-huh, and we've heard Ken. Forget about Barbie and let him talk. Did you jump?
I don't think so. And I was alone. I was alone.
Yes.
And yeah, and that was
Go on.
hard for me.
Ah, yes, the loneliness of life on the road.
Surrounded by thousands of adoring fans one moment.
And then the next, bouncing around the walls of a tour bus or a hotel room in absolute soul-crushing solitude, longing for some semblance of human connection. I mean, the silence after the roar.
Jesus, you're really bumming me out.
Sorry.
I could really use a drink.
You know there's nothing here.
And if there were with you here, it wouldn't be long before there'd be nothing here.
Hey, come on. Yes, I drank a lot, but only in excess.
In excess. Wait, in excess. In excess. Michael Hutchins. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh.
What are you mumbling on about there, mate?
Erotic asphyxiation.
What?
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
You mean you...
Yeah.
You dirty little wanker!
I don't understand. What the hell is erotic? Ew! Sweet baby Jesus on a pogo stick. That's some nasty ass shit, man.
Everybody's got to get their freak on somehow. But damn.
It's not like that. I had a fiance,
Uh-oh. Had.
Valerie. But she couldn't join us on the tour. We were apart for months. I'm watching the other guys, have endless parades of women each night. Me, forever alone. She begged me to stay, leave the tour, but I couldn't do it. The money, it was so good, and we had gotten so big. I couldn't pass it up. And there was so much stress. I needed the release, but felt so badly about what it was doing to our relationship. I hated myself.
So, After the encore, you head back to your hotel room to clear the snorkel, and then did you hold your breath or what?
Studded belt for my costume.
Damn.
Oh, and roll.
TMZ must have had a field day with you, Bryce.
Oh, I suppose that's probably true.
Someone in their housekeeping staff has one very interesting story.
Well, that's it then. You're now officially a member. Welcome to the 27 Club.
And good luck getting the memory of that out of your head now.
You could say the same to us.
Yeah. Thanks. Oh no.
What?
I just had a horrible thought.
More horrible than the last one you put inside our brains. Well, come on then, let's have it.
What if they're making us wait until there are 27 of us?
Oh, could you imagine?
I wouldn't put it past them.
No way. Too big, too many egos in one room.
He's right. It'd be We Are the World all over again.
We are the underworld, more likely.
I don't know. 27. Dead at 27. There's something elegant about that, numerically.
Oh, piss off. I am not waiting that long. I have been here for more than 40 years, and there's only 7 of us. 27? Right, that'll be half past never.
I'm pretty sure that's the idea, man.
What other choice do we have?
No, I still can't believe a drummer hasn't shown up by now.
Now, don't start getting impatient on us. You just got here.
What about a DJ? You know, I'll bet a 27-year-old one of those guys will do too much coke sometime soon, or wrap their souped-up sports car around a telephone pole after too many drinks.
You mean like a radio disc jockey?
No. Like at a nightclub, turntables, EDM.
EDM?
Electronic dance music.
Right. Aren't they essentially drummers? Dropping a beat? I mean, it's a computer, sure. But so many bands these days, they're
I
using
don't
them.
know. That feels like it might be cheating somehow.
Damn right. It is. No, sir. No. No, sir. Gotta be drums. Real thing. Percussion is primal. It's as old as we are. You understand? When the first men and women were huddling around the fire, trying to shut out the cold or the rain or scare off their enemies, they gathered around the fire. And they pounded that drum. They pounded it. They struck it as they told their stories. They struck it as they shared their fears. They struck it as they told their stories. They struck it as they formulated their dreams. They feel it in their chest, those vibrations in your limbs, in every fiber of your being. They travel from the very depths of the drum wildly through the air until they become a part of you. A part of all of us who bear witness to it. You can't have no damn drum machine. My man Mitch Mitchell, he knew. Now he could pound it.
Jimmy's right. Half of the music in the 80s was all drum machine.
And most of it's crap. And EDM, that shit is not music.
Oh, now wait a minute.
They sample anything and everything under the sun, repackage it and call it their own.
So you don't think that?
They're not musicians. For pressing a few buttons on a computer? Not in my book. No, they run everything from a laptop. Let's see them pick up a guitar.
So what would you call them?
Thieves, criminals, charlatans.
Now that's not fair. Every one of us in this room is guilty of stealing something musically from someone, somewhere. Right?
It's not the same.
Imitation, the highest form of flattery.
Imitation is a cover band playing my songs, trying to sing like me.
Or paying homage to your musical heroes by mirroring them in your work. Subtle echoes.
What they do is something totally different.
These DJs lift one guitar lick from someone else, drop in a few vanilla lyrics of their own, and loop together a 7-minute dance track, destroying the work of the original artist, resulting in something absolutely mediocre.
Well, some of these guys are earning millions of dollars doing it.
Shame on the people who are paying for it.
Sampling. I swear, if I had one of these assholes here right now.
At least we made something. They're just rearranging it.
She's right. Jimmy changed how people play guitar.
And Kurt blazed a trail for an entirely new sound.
And Amy made soul even more soulful.
And Janice challenged future female artists to find a stage presence that could rival hers.
And Jim showed the world that poetry can fucking rock.
And as far as we can see, you gave a lot too, man. Hip-hop may not be our sound, but you created, you made, you gave, you made your mark. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here talking to us.
That, and the fact that you waxed your carrot while choking yourself and your entire body went as stiff as your girl.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you though, these guys are for real. They're changing music. Shaping how people experience it, how they consume it. And I think.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Learn to read music.
Learn to write a meaningful lyric.
Learn how to play an instrument that doesn't require Wi-Fi.
And then maybe we'll talk.
What now?
We wait.
Of course, but
What?
while we wait,
Yes?
what should we do?
What would you suggest?
Something. Anything to pass the time.
Time will pass. One way or another.
Just do us a favor and keep your belt on.
Yes. But how will we know when?
Oh, well, no. Until then.
Just wait.
Defeated, they all settle back into their original positions. Bryce joins the tableau now, rubbing his throat and opening and closing his jaw, attempting to regain his singing voice. They wait. After a long while, the door opens. They all leap up and turn.
Drummer?
A woman, 27, dressed in cartoonish hip-hop clothes, hat turned sideways, wearing wireless headphones, walks through the door, dancing and air-scratching imaginary turntables, too into her work to notice them. They slowly return to their positions, and then...
Nothing to be done.
The door slams shut on its own. Blackout. End of play.
Wow. I'm floored. I'm sure. Thank you for everyone who has stuck around. What an incredible show. We're going to get into our talk back as quickly as we can. So if I can get everybody back on cam so we can go ahead and get started on our talk back. What a great show. And thank you to everybody who is sticking around for the talk back and who is asking questions. We're going to keep this sort of brief, but we are going to try to get to as many questions as we can.
I'm sorry, I was watching it on the big screen.
Yeah, no, welcome. You're back. You're here. Go ahead and mute that. We're going to go ahead because there's a little delay between what happens here in the Zoom call and there on the YouTube. We're going to go ahead and start and just introduce ourselves. I need your name, your pronouns, what you do, and where you're from. So I am Logan Butcher. I am a co-producer here and the artistic director at the Quarantine series. I am a playwright, director, dramaturg, and what's the other one? I do a lot of stuff in Houston. Yes, my pronouns are he, him. So Anna Maria and Madison.
Sweet. My name is Ana Maria. My pronouns are she, her. I am another co-producer of the Quarantine series, as well as its company manager and director of community engagement. I am an actor, director, writer, editor, journalist, sensitivity reader. We out here. I'm located in Houston, Texas, and I'm so excited all of you tuned in today.
Awesome.
Hello, I'm Madison Sutton. My pronouns are she, her. I'm usually located in Houston, Texas, but right now I'm repping the TK Texarkana all the way in East. And I am the general manager here at the Quarantine series.
Awesome. So now let's go to the cast. So let's go Denise, Kyle, and Amelia first.
Hello, everyone. I am Denise Marin. My pronouns are she, her, and I am usually a Houston-based actress, but currently in Sugarland.
Hello, I'm Kyle Clark. I am an actor also. I'm usually based in Houston, but right now I am in Flint, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Amelia Cassing. My pronouns are she, her. I am an actor. I'm usually in New York, but I am currently in Somerville, South Carolina.
Awesome. And it's the first time for Kyle, Amelia, Tony, and Edwin to work with the Quarantine series on this play. And so I want to welcome them a lot because they are so great. We love that you're all here. So let's hear from Tony, and then Edwin, and then Zoe.
Hi, my name is Anthony Short, and I am also a Houston-based actor, and currently I am in the Woodlands, Texas.
Hi, my name is Edwin Green. I am a Houston-based actor, writer, and teacher, and I'm from Houston. Oh, I said that already, but.
Oh, awesome. Good to have you, buddy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zoe Ellis. I played Janice Joplin, and my pronouns are she, hers, and I am an actress based in Houston, Texas. Thanks for rocking with us tonight.
Heck yeah. Rock and roll. Bravo, and then Muhammad, and we'll hear from Greg.
Hello, I'm Brandon Bravo. Pronouns are he, him. I'm usually a Houston-based actor, but right now I'm in Fort Worth.
Heck yeah, now Muhammad.
What's happening, y'all? It's your boy, Muhammad, back at it like a jackrabbit, like we never left. My pronouns are he, him, his. I was the awesome director for this incredible show. Oh, my Lord, y'all killed it, cast. Y'all, ate that up so hard. And can I just please, as I pass it on to the one and only Mr. Greg himself for writing the hell out of that script, Sir, on record, on live. Round of applause. Oh my goodness, y'all. It just melded so beautifully. I loved it.
Heck yeah. Now, Greg, you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'll have a question right after. Oh, did we lose him? Did we? Oh, there he is. There we go. Oh, okay. Yes, no, you got it.
Mohammed. Oh my gosh, I'm Greg Burdick. I'm the playwright. I'm a theater arts educator based in Florida, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm so happy to be here with all of you tonight. Thanks for tuning in and supporting the work that these outstanding young artists are doing.
Heck yeah, we're glad to support the outstanding work that you're doing. So I do have a question for you. So I have one from chat, and then I have one from myself to kick off this talk back. So I want to ask. I'll start with the one from chat, which is a funny question from Evan, who was a playwright earlier in the quarantine series. He wrote a play called F is 4. So his question is, who is your favorite EDM artist? I'm putting you on the spot. You don't, like.
I honestly don't listen to a lot of EDM. One of my favorite stations on Sirius is Chill. So I listen to a lot of like deep house music. But if you're like hard pressing me for like, an actual artist name, I'd have to get back to you. I'm sorry.
All right, that's good. No, that's a great. I'm sure the question was a little tongue in cheek. So my question is about this script. I want to know. I usually ask like, what is the inspiration behind the script? But I mean, like, I can sort of sense that a little bit. But I do want to talk. I want to ask you like, what is your inspiration behind the script, and what is the history of you working on this script before it got here?
Well, it's a love letter of, to two really, sort of iconic plays, No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre and Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. But the idea for the play really came out of a conversation with a very good friend of mine who is a musician and a music educator. And he's also sort of a theater nerd as well. And I was just kind of musing the idea of, like, what would that be like if there were a bunch of musicians trapped in hell, and the irony of them waiting for a drummer? I just thought I thought personally that it was funny to me, and that was kind of my entry point into it. And when I started writing it, I thought of it more like an SNL sketch. And of course, this is much longer than any sketch you'd see on SNL, but that's kind of the spirit of where it started.
Interesting. Awesome. Yeah. And what was the history of you working on this piece before it got here?
Just one of those little pieces that had kind of like was on the back burner. I was working on some other things, but kind of tinkering away at it slowly. I knew how it was going to start, and I knew what the finish line was going to be, and then it was just a matter of kind of filling in all the gaps between. And our process this week has been so much fun because all of you were challenging me to kind of push the story in a couple different directions, and it helped me find some new moments that I'm really proud of.
Yeah, no, I think this has been an amazing workshop process for this one, and we you did make a lot of great edits, and they really sung tonight. Like the script really sung tonight. Cool. Well, thank you, Greg. Thank you for being here. We're so glad to have you. So our next question, for the actors, again from Evan. It's two good questions. I'm gonna ask him. You know what I mean? Like he got them. For the actors, did you do any research for your role, and what is it like to portray a real person versus a fictional character? Pretty good question. So hands, and then I can call you in the order that I see the hands. Well, so did you do any research, and what was that like, and what was it like to portray a real person versus a fictional one? Zoe, Amelia, then Edwin.
Sweet. Hi, Evan. I'm so glad you're tuned back in. Hope everything is well with you. Yes, I did lots of research on Janis Joplin beforehand. Like the week before we kind of really dove into rehearsals, I watched a bunch of interviews with her. It was like the Cavett show or something, which was super hilarious. And I watched a lot of videos of her performing because I wanted to get an idea of her stage presence and then also just like her speaking voice. And then throughout the rehearsal process, Muhammad actually posed a lot of good questions about, not only who are the people that we think we know what they're like, and then what are they actually like when they're in the green room? What are they actually like when they're in hell? So it was a lot of kind of, okay, well, who is Janis Joplin the performer, and then who is Janis Joplin the human being who's stuck in purgatory right now? And then I think that kind of went into the second part of the question, which is escaping my mind, but I wanted to say something about it, so I'm just going to do that. It was a fun thing for me as an actress because it kind of forced me to recognize the habits that I have and be like, oh, I can't really do that because that's a Zoe thing. It's not necessarily a Janis Joplin thing. So how can I, like, how can I watch Janis Joplin and sort of meld her into this version of what Greg's words have made as well? And that's another thing, is Greg did a really wonderful job of our vernacular, like the way the script is written. It was very well researched into like stuff that we would actually say and how we talk.
Yeah.
So answer.
Yeah. No, and the question was, what's it like to portray a real person versus a fictional one? That's a good answer to that. So
There
good
it was.
job.
I knew it was in there somewhere.
Yeah. So I believe Amelia and then Edwin, and then if anybody else has one, you can go ahead and raise your hand.
Yeah, one thing that I was thinking about like earlier on in the process is that for so many of these characters, if you like watch interviews with them, you're only watching them when they're for Jim Morrison specifically, like most of his interviews, he's like drunk. So like I only am able to research his like persona and also him under some influence. And in this situation, it's like he's been in a room sober for a lot of years. I can't do the math right now. A lot of years. And that's like, there's like freedom to that like, even though these people are so iconic, they also, we've never seen them in this moment, but it's definitely hard to find that like icon thing, to like find the iconic parts of them. Like Jim Morrison's voice is so specific, and like that was really something I still like have to work on. But yeah, I don't know. But that's the thing that was exciting, is that like we don't actually know these people in this situation, and that's like our fun.
Yeah, like you get to take the what that brand, because we never got to see that from those people. So you get to have your interpretation of what they're like in that scenario. So that's really cool. Edwin and then Muhammad has something to say on this topic.
Yeah, bouncing off the first part of the question about the research. Yeah, I did a lot of research, watched a ton of interviews, but when it came down to bringing it to rehearsals, Jimmy has this very gentle persona in his interviews and stuff, but when you see him on stage, it's this whole other person. He's this whole other being. And so I was like, one, I'm in hell as the musician version of Jimmy. So I was like, he's fiery, but also 2020 marks the 50th anniversary of his death. So he's been in this purgatory. He's been in this hell for 50 years. And so I think there's a bit of stir craziness that happens, and of also losing yourself in that situation. And so having this character, having this icon be in this place for so long and losing parts of themselves is where us as the actors get to fill in those holes that have left throughout this void, being trapped in this. So yeah, the big thing for me was filling in those gaps, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure he's lost a lot of color. He's lost his penis. He's lost the ability to not smoke cigarettes. So he's always, like that craving is always there. And it was just nice being able to find ourselves into these characters. I've always been fascinated with the 27 Club, even before this play. And so to play Jimmy was wonderful. And I hope, just adding my own twist and flavor to it. I think that was the thing that we did from day one, was putting our own colors and flavors in it. And so this has been a great process. And playing real versus fictional, I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means. I always try to find the truth and I guess, yeah, I'm not sure what that means.
No, that's fair. Yeah, and I find it really interesting, like filling in those gaps, and then also like you've been stuck with these specific people for so long, so those relationships is really interesting to me. Muhammad, what do you got on the subject?
Yo, can I just say real quick, it's not to answer the question, but like y'all freaking killed it as like y'all's respective celebrities. But can I just really just pinpoint some love and hype? And I will be doing this more throughout this Q&A, so I apologize. But to Amelia and like her freaking incredible body language and storytelling, and like you really just embodied Jim Morrison. And then please, can we please get some hype in the chat for freaking Edwin's Jimi Hendrix monologue? Holy crap, that was the best thing I've ever seen in Zoom so far. Just like I was like, and how you were positioned, like how y'all were positioned, you were like in the corner and everyone was just like, I don't know, man. Y'all just locked in. Y'all all connected so Lee.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I totally agree. Any actors have an answer for that question, or we can move on? Okay, cool. Denise, what's up?
I also did research, but something that helped me with Amy specifically was that she does have a documentary on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it, it's really interesting. But I feel like that just gave me more of insight into her life. But also, like, at first when I came to this role, it was kind of scary because like all of these artists are very iconic. So it's like, whoa, can I live up to that? But watching the documentary, I realized that Amy is just a storyteller, just like all of us. And so it was kind of fun to like, yes, there's like this kind of box that Amy is, but also it's fun to like break through and find, like what Edwin said, find the me within Amy. So it was overall just really fun, and watch her documentary if you have. Really good.
Yeah, you did such a great job from the start. Cool. Excellent. So actually, before we move on, we just got a really good question from Gareth Short, who asks, this is for Tony and Amy, or not Amy, Denise, excuse me. How did the actors playing Amy and Brian perfect their English accents? So how do you, what kind of training do y'all want to shout out? What's up, Tony? And then
I'll shout out my dad who asked that question, who's from England, so he knows how I know that accent. Thank you, Dad. And Jim Johnson. Shout out Jim Johnson. Please go use accenthelp.com.
Yes, accent help. What about you, Denise?
Same, Jim Johnson. I could not have done this without him. Also, I was researching her accent specifically because it was kind of hard to pinpoint. Some people think she's Cockney. Some people think she's just a mixture of RP and Cockney. So I felt like I had a little bit more liberty to play with that. But yeah, Jim Johnson.
Yeah.
We love Jim Johnson. Go Cougs.
Everybody in the world should love Jim Johnson. So, okay. Thank you, Gareth, for the question. And thanks for watching. We love parents here at the Quarantine Series. We actually really do. So thank you for being here. So we have a question. We have a couple questions. One from Chet Hertz, who is a prior playwright here at the Quarantine Series also. And one from Spencer. And these are kind of about the process. So I'm going to sort of combine them into one little section of our talk back here. So Spencer asked, are the quarantine, and I do want to ask a little bit. I want to ask the cast a question off this one. Are the Quarantine Series actors off books for these readings? Are they off book? If not, then y'all are reading super well. So that's a comment wrapped in a question. I do wonder, did any of y'all like have a section that you might have memorized? Because nobody's off book. Like, no, we're not asking anybody to get off book, but I'm wondering how y'all handled it and handled the scrollingness of the whole thing. So while acting.
Zoe and Tony are like,
yeah, Zoe, Tony.
Uh,
Zoe and then Tony.
Sorry. Yeah, Tony. God. Anyways, so this is like my 4th week in the Quarantine Series, so I feel like I've kind of gotten a good handle on the scroll and the look, and also it's weird because you want to look. I like split my screen and I want to watch my fellow actors, especially in a cast this big, just to kind of like get my impulses and everything, but you also want to direct things into the webcam so the audience feels like we're actually talking to the people that we're talking to and not, I don't know. There's a lot of different weird components to it. I personally have never been like 100% off book for any of the readings that I've done, just because their readings, and we're all in quarantine and trying to figure out how we're supplementing our income in this time. So it's like I don't necessarily I love you guys, but I don't have the time to get off book for so many things.
That's why we're not asking.
Exactly. But I think once you've acted enough or just read something enough, there are lines that stick in your head and you just kind of know them. And if you listen and you pick up your cues, it comes very naturally. I will say this one was the biggest cast that I've been a part of, and it was a little bit more nerve-wracking to be like, okay, shoot, where's Janice, where's Janice in the middle of like all these different 27 clubbers. But
Yeah, Edwin or no? Oh, Tony.
I think any playwright that's worth his salt can kind of like chunk his pieces, like his what he's talking about in the play together. And Greg does a great job on like staying on whatever he wants to talk about. So for me, it was just finding like, I guess what my character like felt important to talk about. And so I knew I would be in that part of the script. And so I could chunk that piece together. And then once we switch topics, and then I would like realize, oh, Brian doesn't have as much priority here, I can kind of chill out and kind of shift from there to there.
Yeah, that's great. Anybody else on that? Cool, awesome. And then Chet asked, how many group / table reads in advance of the TQS workshop? He's interested in the development history of this piece. So this is for Greg. Yeah. How many readings of this have you heard before this?
This is it. This is the first time I heard it read. The first time I heard it read was last week, which was a thrill. It's one of those pieces that has been, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. It's been in a couple of festivals, almost made it to the final round, and then, we're so sorry, but we've gone in another direction. So I feel like this one's been waiting to get some love, and you guys have given it so much love. So thank you.
It was very easy to love. So that's good. I'm glad. All right. So we have a question for Muhammad from our friend Spencer Dooley. Go Cougs. We love Spencer. Thank you for being here tonight and for asking this question. So how do you even approach directing something for this medium? Muhammad, this is a question for you to talk about the what the directing is like on this platform. How did you do it, man? Like this play, you did so good. How did you do it?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I cheated. Like, I got the best cast I could have ever asked for, and I got such a good script with a trustworthy playwright that I like there's one thing in a collaborative room where like you like being there and you kind of like working there. But then there's another thing when you're in a collaborating room and you just love the people that are in the room with you. And there's a different type of creation that happens. And so how I've approached Zoom directing has been kind of like how I've approached any type of show. I start by reading it first, then I listen to it. And then more than anything, what I really emphasize within my directing journey into this space was, if people can't see the thing, like if people are on their phones or they're moving around, if they're like in the kitchen and it's being played on the TV, if people can't see the thing, the story, then how do we hit the comedy? How do we hit the drama? How do we emphasize and make a guitar solo? Like, how do we work ensemblically within our auditory storytelling? And there's an emphasis on that I always approach within any type of work I do, because that's just how my brain works. And so within this space, it's kind of crazy, but there was a show that I got to be a part of before Zoom and before the quarantine called oh my God, no, he's gonna hate me so bad. Logan, can you please help me?
The Debasers?
No, not the Debasers. The superheroes.
Spirits to enforce.
Of course.
I got to be in Spirits to Enforce, and our director, he emphasized this kind of like auditory choreography.
Oh yeah, yes.
More than anything, and Logan got to see that. But this auditory choreography that just translated into my brain. I don't know what it is, but everything within the training at U of H that I've gotten, everything that I've consumed within the arts, every spaces that I've been a fan of and part of the community, like it all just clicked when he said auditory choreography. And then it just makes so much sense within comedy. There's set up punchlines. How do we do that? How do we make it sound like that? Within drama, there is energy. There's energy that the sounds of these dialogue carry. And something Jim Johnson and Rosie Ward, Sarah Becker, and Adam Noble always said, for all incredible professors that have taught or currently are teaching at U of H, they said this thing. They said that the vowels are how we carry our emotion, and the consonants is what creates the rhythm of your sound. And as an MC, subtle flex, as an MC and as a beatboxer, it just made so much sense. The T's, the Z's, the ooh, the ah, like it just made so much sense. And a lot of what I approached with this show was, instead of creating this as if this was on Zoom and directing it on Zoom, because of the caliber of acting and the story that we had, I got to go, excuse my language, ape shit. I got to go ape shit with the fun, the dissonance, playing around with dissonance, playing around with interacting within the camera angles, playing around with entrances and exits, framing yourself within there, seeing who has the power right now, who's the one listening, who's the one learning, who's the student, who's the teacher, who's in charge, who's leading the groove. It was literally like a jazz song, no cap. And without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most fun directing I have ever done. And so to officially answer the question, what I did was I listened, and when it hit me that we could explore something else, I trusted my cast and my playwright enough to throw those crazy ideas at them. More than anything, I feel the director's job, in my personal point of view and my personal philosophy as a young director, is to create train tracks where your actors can fly. And so you just create the energy, you just create the direction, literally director. But, and then after that, you throw stupid, reckless things at your actors and see where they trip up, because then we found something dope. Oh man, but I loved it. I loved it. And that, I hope that kind of answered the question.
Yeah, no, that was a great answer. And Anna Maria, what is something else great about Zoom directing?
Well, Logan, I'm glad you asked. Muhammad just outlined wonderfully how many tools are available to us via Zoom and how much potential there is to this platform. But there's not only potential. See, the thing about Zoom is that although there are its limitations, although there is the tech gap, although that's super duper real, it is still by and large far more accessible than what is generally available to people in the arts. Human beings have been making art for thousands of years, and we've been gatekeeping it just as long. Socioeconomically and physically. And Zoom removes a lot of those barriers. And that's why it's so wonderful. Even though we can't be in the same physical room together, we are able to get people to work together and collaborate on art who wouldn't have been able to do so otherwise. And that's why Zoom Theater is not going anywhere even after the quarantine ends. So thank you all for taking that leap of faith with us tonight.
Heck yeah. Muhammad, what do you got to say on that subject?
I'm sorry to take the mic again, but not really, because it's dope. But I can say that something that always hit me in my brain about Zoom, that for some reason never hits me whenever I'm in any other rehearsal room that I've personally been in so far, is that when I enter the Zoom rehearsal room, there's a little voice in my head that says, the laws of physics don't exist. The laws of physics don't exist. And I can't stop thinking about this book called Ender's Game. Ender's Game had this chapter where they were like battling each other in zero gravity rooms. And in the same way, I thought about, okay, if truly the laws of physics don't exist within Zoom, because we have control of the frame, the access, what the truth of our gravity in our space is, then it's like, there's a little voice in my head that says, where do people come in and out? Where do people enter and exit? How do people disagree with each other? And how do people support each other? And more than anything, all the fundamental acting questions that like get thrown at us by our playwrights hits me. And I'm just like, I don't know what that means, but I throw it out into the world to see if it expands for someone else.
Thank you for doing that. And on Anna Maria's point, we also had like 50, like about 50 people like like watching at one time live like throughout the performance. And so it's like to have that for a play reading is actually pretty freaking good. Like like getting those amount of people in a room to watch a play and ask questions and hear it. That's hard. And on online, getting people from across the country, we were able to do that tonight, and I'm so glad about that. And on that note, I'm going to toss our final question over to Greg, the playwright tonight, the man of honor tonight, because the quarantine series is all about uplifting our playwrights here. So I want to know. I asked this to all our playwrights before we end our talkbacks. Like myself as a playwright, I lost a lot of gigs because of quarantine. A lot of us artists lost a lot because of the current scenario. And so I want to know what it's like for you, Greg, as the playwright tonight, to what was it like to have a project worked on, to brought to life during this quarantine, and how was your time here at the quarantine series more generally after that, and then we'll say goodbye.
Well, first of all, I want to take issue just with your comment that I'm the person of honor. Every single one of you in this Zoom room are persons of honor. Logan and Madison and Anna and Mohammed, your outstanding direction, and Amelia and Zoe and Edwin and Kyle and Denise and Anthony and Brandon. This has been a fantastic experience. And in a perfect world, I would be physically loving on all of you right now. I would just be hugging the stuffing out of every single one of you. And that's going to happen at some point when I get out to Texas and Houston. But for now, I cannot thank you all enough, and just how you have embraced this platform and how you have found how to make it work in not a very lengthy amount of time. You figured it out. So many people were saying back in March that virtual theater is not theater, and in one sense that's true, but you guys have found just a new way to tell stories and to help us as playwrights, to help designers, to help directors, to help actors get us to whatever's coming next. But the most important thing that you all are doing is you're networking. Oh my gosh, you hold a real life play reading and you're in a single city with maybe 50 people, right? And we've got people all over the country that are watching this right now. And I just think it's extraordinary. So the future of theater is very, very safe in hand with young people like you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, and I mean, we're just so glad that we were able to figure it out so that we could show this work and give you a reading so you could hear this amazing play and get more work done on it. And yeah, like for me, I mean, the reason we started this is because for me personally, it's survival. This is the thing I love to do the most in the world, and the fact that it was sort of vanished overnight because we couldn't be in the same room was horrible. And so I'm so glad that we were able to start it and get rolling. Mohammed, before we leave, do you have one more thing? All right, go ahead.
I just want to say, in case y'all don't know who these faces on these screens are, we got the one and only Logan Butcher, stellar playwright, freaking production artistic director, the one and only Anna Maria, sensitivity coordinating queen, actually with the space buns. We got the one and only Madison Sutton, not only your stage managing queen, but also just organization Fictional big brain. And also shout out to Anna Maria for the website. And then straight up, we got the one and only Denise Marin, the one and only senior at the University of Houston, Bachelor of Fine Arts acting right now in the cut in the stew, man. Y'all are seeing, this is the pre-mixtapes right now. We got the one and only Kyle Clark. Initials are the same as Kurt Cobain. And no, it wasn't purposeful because I was surprised. Just graduated from the U of H's graduate program. This man, give this man a weapon, a sword, a stage, a space. He will create a story. And the one and only Amelia Cassing, I believe is how you said it. The one and only, thank you so much for coming through. I'm so happy that you are in this room with us. And oh my goodness, shout outs to your audition video. And for anyone that wants exclusive,
Oh my God.
hit up Amelia for her audition video because that was just like goodbye. Hire her ASAP. No Rocky. And can I just go show some love to Zoe Ellis, my queen, my homie, my ensemble member, also Denise and Tony and Bravo. Truly eaten up, one of the smartest actresses you will ever see in your life, period. Like, you will never walk into a room with Zoe Ellis in it and not have food to eat because she is serving. And if you hungry, y'all missed it. Straight up, can we show some love to Edwin freaking Green? I did not know who Edwin was prior to this show, but like, I kept seeing his face. And then I got to be in a rehearsal room with him, and I kid you not, this man did that monologue like 18,000 different times, and not one run was weak, period, son. And he does his own effects. Shout out to Edwin Green, the one and only Jimi Hendrix, and shout outs to Anthony Short. I was like, we need someone who has great timing, incredible technique, and also just a killer accent. And I was like, Anthony Short next, because straight up, bro, you can always trust Tony to lead the show, to hit the punchlines, to make sure that your show is crispy and your story is moving forward. And bravo, Bryce Peters, dude, shout out to Bravo for being thrown into a role that just straight up, he was like, oh my God, I have to both be intently listening and also leading the show. Like, really just came in, and this is the largest group of people I have ever directed. And honestly, everyone's leadership and everyone's creative force inside the room made it easy. But Bravo, thank you so much for making it even easier. You know what I'm saying? And straight up, allow me to close it with Greg. And I know we got to wrap it up.
Hey, you're good. Take it over. What's up? What is that? It?
That's it. Period. No comma.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Before we go, I want to do a few things. One, I want to plug that we are a donate if you can operation, and all the funds that we collect tonight will be donated evenly among all these amazing people in this Zoom call. So please, if you would like to donate, our Venmo is at the Quarantine Series, and our Cash App is $ the Quarantine Series. So please, any amount helps. We love you. And if not, check out our Facebook page. Check out the anonymous feedback form that we dropped in our YouTube chat, and also check out our Instagram. The Quarantine Series HTX. So thank you all for sticking around and hanging out with us. Thank you to our cast and our amazing playwright and director. Thank you to everybody. A great show tonight. I hope you all have a great night. See y'all next Friday from the Quarantine Series.